Hey guys, Saw Simon here and welcome to my channel. I recently have been working on my video series about the leaked information about a new Batman Arkham game, but this time I thought maybe I should take it forward as the ending of Arkham Knight left the question of who is Batman up in the air, and I would like to give my ideas on where the franchise could go for the next installment. Be warned, there will be major spoilers in this video from the past Arkham games and some information about a possible connection between the Court of Owls and the League of Assassins, along with some spoilers from the comics. If you guys enjoyed the video, then tell me what you think in the comment section below. Now, even though the leaked information was about the next Arkham game being set after Origins, I still plan on using some of that information for this video. However, as a lot of other sources have also said the next Arkham game was going to be about Damian Wayne, and whatever the idea they were working on has also been reformed for something new. I figure I can combine both of these ideas along with some interesting information I found when playing Arkham City and Arkham Knight that could start the next chapter of the Arkham series. Okay guys, last chance. Major spoilers ahead from here on out. Be warned, you're told. Okay. To start off, the end of Arkham Knight saw Batman being unmasked as Bruce Wayne by Scarecrow for all of Gotham to see on live TV. He gets saved by a reformed Jason Todd, now the Red Hood, and goes back to his mansion and blows it all up, giving us the impression that Bruce Wayne is dead. End of story, right? Before the game ends, we are given one last cutscene that shows a couple criminals robbing a family, and they see Batman on a rooftop. They shout at him that they aren't scared of him and that he is just a man, and that they get fear-bombed because he jumps and the imagery changes to that of Scarecrow's fear toxin. Maybe them even getting dosed beforehand, because when you look at Batman, you can kind of see on the sides that he's a little blurry. It's just funny looking. As to who this Batman is, we don't know and are given no clues, which leaves some unanswered questions. Now, if any of the information that leaked is true, then there are a few interesting things I found which help me to draw some conclusions about what a sequel to Arkham Knight could be about, which would involve the Court of Owls and the League of Assassins both being in this game and them being enemies of one another, with Batman and the gang thrown in the middle. Here is my best evidence for this logic, so stay with me here as I go through this, and the more I tell you, the more it will seem very plausible. Number 1. The leaked information said the new game would be taking place in a previously unexplored coastal area of Gotham. Coastal being the key word here. 2. If true, this coastal area could be close to where the League of Assassins' Lazarus Pit was in Arkham City, which is detailed in the Wonder City story page, and or the pit we see in the DLC from Arkham Knight that we destroy, which ends up causing Raz's death. 3. The Court of Owls has been named as one of the main villains in the League, and is a very old organization and has been in Gotham for centuries according to the comics, taking that time to establish their power, wealth, and land. 4. The Court of Owls Easter egg riddle in Arkham Origins that is the Court of Owls nursery rhyme. This would be set in stone that the Court of Owls is real and canon because similar events between Deathstroke and Firefly that take place in Arkham Origins are later canon in Arkham Knight, as would be the statues around the hotel whose mask is very similar if not identical to the Talon's mask. 5. If you read the history in Arkham City about Wonder City, you can see that a long time ago, specifically a century, Raz comes to Gotham and tries to make a deal with the Gotham Elders, who laugh in his face thinking him strange, until he offers them more gold than they had ever seen, and they make the deal giving him the land he wants, which contained the Lazarus Pit under Gotham, upon which he built Wonder City. 6. If you saw my villain insurgency video about the court and their talents, then you know they use a specific serum coupled with electrum, a highly conductive alloy of silver and gold, with trace amounts of copper and other elements, which allows the court to keep their talons alive and in stasis and pretty much invulnerable. 7. If you keep reading the Wonder City info, it says that Raz knew the pit was there and then in small doses it could rejuvenate and he assumed perhaps maybe prevent death. Also that Wonder Tower was a giant lightning rod, using electricity coupled with the Lazarus Pit for his experiments. 8. When the citizens began to go mad from being exposed to too long the effects of the Lazarus, a new Gotham City Hall condemns the city and closes it. The crazies get sent to Arkham and Wonder City is built over and forgotten, with Raz escaping away back to his home. 9. Reading Solomon Grundy's story in Arkham City pages, you can see how he was killed in the late 1800s and dumped in a swamp. This swamp was above a Lazarus Pit possibly, the one in Arkham City, or maybe a swamp in this new unexplored area, and I believe it's what caused him to come back to life for the first time. It then says he wanders but is caught and experimented on, and then later repeatedly electrocuted, and no matter how many times he dies, he just keeps coming back, and later that he is found in Raz's lab, which means the League of Assassins found him originally and experimented on him over and over, making him the way he was, while learning the effects of the pit when mixed with electricity. Putting all this together, you can start to see a connection between these two organizations that centers around Ra's giving them gold in return for him getting the title to the land he wanted. From this exchange, the court gets gold, which is used for the process of their talons, and Ra's gets the area he wanted to experiment with the Lazarus Pit that the court did not know about. However, both groups are trying to achieve the same thing, immortality, but in different ways for different reasons. In the end, a new Gotham City Hall condemns the city and closes it, causing Ra's to flee Gotham. This could be the Court of Owls using their power in the city to take back the land, knowing now what Ra's was working with and wanting it for themselves, and having the perfect reason for taking it back with the people going mad. So where does this conflict come for this new game? With Ra's and Talia both dead, Damian has no family left. This could be where Deuce Al Ghul comes in, as he was mentioned in the leak as a villain when he brings Damian to Gotham to try and put Raz's spirit into Damian's body. This follows the resurrection of Ra's al Ghul storyline in the comics. Deuce wants to take back the area of Gotham the League originally bought because he needs the Lazarus Pit to bring his father back through Damian. If this is even possible, then the Court of Owls will be a huge part of the story, maybe even starting a war with the League of Assassins to prevent this, not wanting to share what they use to keep their talons from dying. Or perhaps the Court of Owls has perfected the process and Deucin is coming to Gotham to take it from them to use to bring his father back. Either way, it pits these two against one another. Also worth noting, in the comics, it is said that the Lazarus Pit can also return a talon to their former self, meaning return their minds back to what they used to be before they got all talony. But that's just my 2 cents on all of that. So let's put a pin in that for now and ask another question that I don't know the answer to. Who is Batman now? Since there are several possible people, let's eliminate the easy ones first. The Batman fear scene takes place 9 months after the end of Arkham Knight. If so, then I doubt it is Damian because the Batman in that scene appears to be a full-grown man, and in the comics he's just a kid. Also, I don't think Rocksteady or WB Montreal is just going to dump Damian into the suit and then let us run around as him for most of the game, as the story explains why this is happening. Nor could this be Tim Drake because he was getting hitched at the end of Arkham Knight, as seen by him texting Jim Gordon, who is now mayor, which happens only minutes before we see this new Batman attack. Azrael is also out because the end of Arkham Knight has him with 2 different endings depending on which choice is made. In one he is locked up, and in the other him and Batman become friends. These 2 endings can play into the next game both ways depending on which way the developer wants to go with it because of things that happened in the comics, specifically when the League of Assassins manipulated the Order of St. Dumas to use Azrael as their tool against Batman. I do not think it is Bruce Wayne at all for a few reasons. 1. His dialogue with Catwoman towards the end of the game on how she won't see him again and a new Batman needs to rise from his ashes.
Right?
No one will. Gotham needs something more, something worse to defend her. She needs a new myth. A legend more powerful than I can be right now. A legend that can only rise from the ashes of the Batman.
Second, his conversation with Dick makes it
I'm
seem
proud
like
of you, Dick.
those two both know something and it will
you
involve Bruce
feeling
not being
okay?
around.
This is the end. This is the last time we meet.
Don't talk like that. All right, this won't stop you. Nothing stops you.
Keep Bloodhaven safe. Promise me.
It's okay, Bruce. I get it. You just don't want me hanging around, stealing the limelight.
Dick.
I won't let you down.
I know.
Which leaves Dick Grayson and Jason Todd. Since Arkham Knight saw Bruce expose as Batman, the return of Jason, and with a lot of members of the Bat family playable at this point, it seems the Arkham series is leaning to a Battle for the Cowl type storyline, which sounds just like what it sounds like. In this story, Dick, Jason, Tim, Michael Lane, a newer Azrael, and the one from this Arkham Knight game, and even Damian all fight for the right to don the cape and the cowl to continue Bruce's war on crime in Gotham. Long story short, it ends with Dick and Jason, the same two left in Arkham Knight, to possibly be Batman. Fighting on a train, Dick kicks Jason off into Gotham River and returns to the Batcave and dons the suit to become the next Batman. And he ends up taking Damian as his new Robin, which could be related to the leaked information about this being a co-op dynamic duo type setting. Knowing the storyline now, it makes more sense that the Batman at the end of Arkham Knight could already be Jason Todd, because it's not outside of his wheelhouse to use fear gas or a weapon since he has no trouble maiming and murdering. Along with the fact he was working with Scarecrow most of the game, he would already have easy access to and know exactly how the fear gas and fear bombs would work. Another interesting point about this is that the criminals don't fear Batman now because they know he is just a man, and which man he is. With that being the case, Jason can be using these bombs to start up a new superstition of fear for the Batman to more quickly spread that fear among the criminal elements, because he is pissed off no one took up the mantle of Batman after Bruce died or went absent, however you want to see it, to defend Gotham. Similar to his feelings in the Battle for the Cowl storyline. It's also worth noting that the eyes of this Batman and his chest symbol both appear red, which is also the same color used by Jason in the comics for his Batman suit. Okay, so, if someone new is in the Batsuit, then what happened to Bruce Wayne? Well, a few things could have happened. 1, he is dead, which I doubt. 2, he retired and he is living in France waiting for Alfred to show up for some shitty overpriced cappuccino. You know what I'm talking about. 3, he went underground and is hiding away from everyone to finally binge watch The Wire, Breaking Bad, and Game of Thrones. This also seems unlikely because he won't let someone else just run around in his suit tarnishing his legacy if he was still alive. He would be getting out there trying to find out who this Batman was. 4. This one seems the most useful and likely for my theory. Bruce was kidnapped at the end of Arkham Knight before his house goes boom. He goes into the house and is taken down by the Court of Owls, a Talon, or maybe even Owlman himself. All characters named in the leak. They drug him and take him, then blow up his house to make it look like he killed himself so no one will come looking. It's a perfect cover for the Court of Owls because chances are Bruce was going to disappear for a while anyway. Also, in the comics, the court doesn't know who Batman is. They attack Bruce Wayne because of his plans to rebuild Gotham and find out he is Batman after the fact, then attack his home later on. So, why would the court do this? Well, in the comics, the court doesn't really know who Batman is, as I said, and they don't want his legacy to outshine theirs, nor are they happy with Bruce Wayne trying to fix Gotham in any way, which is what he attempts to do in the comics. In the Arkhamverse, a similar thing happens. At the start of the game, on the TV in Arkham Knight in the diner, we can see some news about reopening Arkham Asylum and rebuilding Arkham City, which Bruce Wayne offers to help pay for. In a quote at the bottom, he says something along the lines of, "Together we can rebuild Gotham and make it great again." This is the same thing he does in the comics that gets the Court of Owls on his back. The only difference between the two being, in the game, they find out who Batman is beforehand because of Scarecrow unmasking him. Knowing this, they ambush him at his house and then blow it up as the perfect cover. Okay, so with all this info, this is what I think will be going on if the game comes to be. Bruce gets kidnapped at the end of Arkham Knight and then disappears with Alfred missing, so I don't have to worry about him. 9 months pass and no one knows where they are, but a new Batman is running around now and no one knows who it is. Assuming it's Bruce, they go looking for him. By they, I mean the Bat family. Dick, Tim, Oracle, possibly Azrael. You know, they find Jason as Batman and him and Dick have some encounters until Dick prevails and becomes the next Batman and Jason returns to his Red Hood role and starts to help the Bat family. While this is going on, Bruce will be in the Court of Owls labyrinth, having been stuck there for however long, waiting until he dies, a similar experience to what happens to him in the comics. This will be our first glimpse of him, not really knowing what is going on with him yet, since the court has yet to show up. Before they do, he will have a flashback to the end of Arkham Knight, showing how he was taken and his house blown up, and pan back to him in this dark room, and a door will open into the labyrinth with a voice saying, "Walk." Jumping back to Dick becoming Batman and Tim his Robin, the duo leaked info thing again, at some point they will cross paths with the court's Talons and a fight will ensue in which the League of Assassins will come in to save the Bat family. During the fight, however, one Talon will taunt Dick with information about his family and his past, making him question who the Talon is before they escape, leaving a standoff between the Bat family and the League of Assassins. Back to Bruce. Walking the maze, the court will torture him with info of having killed his great-grandfather and how he failed Gotham or let the Joker do too much damage to try and drive him mad. This will be done by the Owlman, who will be Lincoln March, who is manipulating the court for his own reasons, to get even with Bruce Wayne, who he blames for his parents' death, Thomas and Martha Wayne. He will tell Bruce that he is Thomas Wayne Jr., his younger brother. Back to Grayson and Drake, the League of Assassins will stand back and a new man will reveal himself to be Deucin Al Ghul, Raz's only son, and wants to help them get back at the court. They won't believe him, so to get them on their side to help them with the court, the League will give the team some BS story and nail it home with introducing Damian, Bruce's son with Talia. Everyone will be too stunned to think twice about this being a trick. Doosan gives some sob story about wanting to reunite his sister's son with his father as his family was too crappy and he doesn't want to see the same thing happen to his nephew. He tells them he knows the court has Batman and where and sends them to their lair. They say they don't need any more of his help, but he refuses to not go since Damian's father is there and the two team up. Back to Bruce, March will tell him the story of how he was born when his mom went into early labor because of a car accident ironically caused by the court when they tried to kill the Waynes. He was put in some hospital but soon lost after because his parents were killed and no one knew of him, so no one came looking. The court finds him and uses him for their own needs, turning him into a Talon for a while, then using him as a political figure. He plans this revenge on Bruce and the court. When he reveals he lets Raz's son, Doosan, know what happened long ago about Wonder City and how the court pushed him out and where to find them now. As Bruce keeps walking, this voice will appear and stab him in the chest, dropping him to the ground, thinking he is dead. The lights will come on and all of the members of the court will be dead above them, killed, orchestrated by March because they killed his parents and for what they did to him. Now he will kill Bruce. Back to the Bat family and the League going to get the court. Once inside their lair, a reformed and rebuilt Wonder City with a new pit made with the added chemical used by the court for their Talons, a fight will break out between the court and the others. The Talons will show up again, and one will reveal himself to Dick to be his great-grandfather, William Cobb, and how he is angry at Dick for going with Batman instead of the court. They will fight hard with Dick losing. All will be revealed as the Bat family is betrayed by the League and taken hostage by them while they kill all the court members except Cobb, giving him Grayson. Then a light will show in the room, and as everyone gets close to see, they will look down in amaze to see Bruce in a room about to get killed by Owlman. It will all be planned by Doosan with March's help. He will then explain that March gave him all this information on how to find the court and the pit in revenge against the court and Bruce. Doosan will tell them how he wanted revenge against the court for cheating his father so long ago, and he will also explain that he was also wanting revenge on Batman and friends for killing his father and for what happened to his sister at the hands of the Joker, and that he does not want to reunite Bruce and Damian, but he wants to use Damian as a vessel to bring back his father, but needed the Lazarus Pit here with the court's new serum to do it. Once he is back, they will take over the court, merging it with the League, and finally take Gotham. The Bat family will expect a betrayal, and a huge fight breaks right out. Back to Bruce, he and March will fight in the pit, and he will see everyone at the top and have a renewed sense of hope and be able to overpower March in the end, and he will get rescued by the Bat family, leaving March to escape. Likewise, as the Bat family fights above him to save themselves and stop Doosan, they will rescue Bruce while also trying to destroy the rebuilt Wonder City. They will plant some explosives and get Bruce out of the pit and make their way out. As they go to blow the place and it crumbles, Doosan will get knocked into the chemicals and die as the building falls down around him, with William Cobb escaping, saying he will see Dick again soon. They will reunite at the cave, with Bruce telling Dick to continue to be Batman until he can overcome what happened to him by the court, and the game will end with Dick and Damian as the new dynamic duo, saving the William Cobb Court of Owls storyline for a sequel with Dick as Batman, along with some new League of Shadows stuff for Damian and Owlman for Bruce to go after to repair his mind and such before he can come back as Batman. Before the credits roll, however, we will get one last scene. Back at the destroyed Wonder City of Ra's coming out of the pit, having used Doosan's body as his new vessel. He just looks into the camera and smiles, and it goes black. This game I would call Batman: Arkham Conspiracy. The main theme of the game being family and the relationships between fathers and sons and carrying on legacies, a huge theme for the Batman stories. Well guys, that is what I think could happen, all based on my opinion, based on comic stuff, and what I would like to see in the next game with some added stuff I came up with. It all hangs on whether or not the deal between the Gotham Elders and Ra's is as I said it was between him and actually the Court of Owls. If so, then there is a ton of potential left in this series to keep it going. Hope you guys liked the video, and if so, please leave a comment in the comment section about what you guys think based on this idea of mine. I'm excited to see what you all have to say, and, well, thanks for watching. See you next time.